There you go now.
I think I'm recording.
Oh, I see.
No nonsense advice about relationships, marriage, kids.
Tough love.
It happened is not a phrase anybody uses when they take responsibility.
Inspiration.
Every time you want to go to bed with a negative thought, you have to match it up with a positive one. That's your new rule.
Plus, Dave Ramsey, Glenn Beck, and Nancy Grace. To hear Dr. Laura on Triumph, activate your radio now. Call 844-711-8800 or head to SiriusXM.com/go to sign up quickly.
With the SiriusXM Platinum VIP plan, you can unlock the ultimate listening experience in up to 2 cars and stream anywhere with 2 app logins. Enjoy our greatest content, opportunities for live VIP experiences, and prioritized customer care. Plus, get access to over 5,000 audio and video concert recordings through nugs.net. Call 844-711-8800 and become a VIP. Offer details apply. Not available in Canada.
Celebrate 50 years of hip-hop with the female MCs who laid the foundation. The greatest hyped up and the ladies making history right now.
Can I be like, we're bigger than she?
SiriusXM's Queens of Hip Hop is a channel dedicated to the women that rule the rap game.
Queen with a crown that be down for whatever.
Queens of Hip Hop.
Watch the queen conquest.
One of more than 200 extra channels available only in the SXM app. And hear it all week starting Tuesday, channel 104.
Get the SiriusXM app and listen on your phone when you get out of the car. Anywhere you take your phone, you can take Howard Stern, NFL Radio, and commercial-free music channels from nearly every genre. You never have to miss your favorite SiriusXM programs or commercial-free music. Find the SiriusXM app in the App Store or call 844-711-8800 or visit SiriusXM.com/app to find out more.
With the SiriusXM Platinum VIP plan, you can unlock the ultimate listening experience in up to 2 cars and stream anywhere with 2 app logins. Enjoy our greatest content, opportunities for live VIP experiences, and prioritized customer care. Plus, get access to over 5,000 audio and video concert recordings through nugs.net. Call 844-711-8800 and become a VIP. Offer details apply. Not available in Canada.
Do mashup channels, workout channels, channels for parties, or just chilling out and more. Expertly curated for any mood, occasion, or activity. Extra channels let you discover new music and enjoy even more variety from every decade and music style you love. Plus, you can watch some of your favorite SiriusXM shows with SiriusXM Video. And you can do it all along with listening in your car as part of our music and entertainment plan. Right now, we're offering SiriusXM subscription plans for as low as $6 a month, plus fees and taxes. Call 844-711-8800 to find out more about these amazing offers.
With the stories that shape our world, with the SiriusXM news channels.
Border Patrol and ICE have had to limit
from cable news to business.
And so the markets need to be prepared for that and the volatility and for that.
And international.
The strands of values. It's the strands of real freedom.
The SiriusXM news channels, starting at channel 112 and on the SXM app.
You decide what to haul, where to run, when to go home, and when you're ready to load out. There's no forced dispatch. Landstar owner-operators call the shots. Plus, exclusive Landstar savings put thousands in fuel, tires, and other operational costs back in your wallet. Make the drive to Landstar for access to thousands of available loads and technology tools that can put more profit in your pocket. Call us today at 877-472-0099 or visit leasetolandstar.com.
Exclusive SiriusXM show.
The name of the show is Straight from the Heart, featuring me and the Plastic Cup Boys.
Hear the latest from Kevin Hart on his exclusive SiriusXM show.
We're talking about putting in work, talking about your ladies and the expectations that they may have.
Wait a second, man.
Straight from the Heart. Straight from the Heart with Kevin Hart. To hear Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio, activate your radio now. Call 844-711-8800 or go to SiriusXM.com/go to sign up quickly.
Summer, time to stock up on SPF, good vibes, and tunes to match. There's no better way to spend a day than by soaking up the rays, taking a dip, or napping under a shady tree. Sit back, relax, and drift away in the summer breeze. With the ultimate lazy summer music mix. Plus.
Listen now on the SXM app, included with all of our trials and popular plans.
Best. With the SiriusXM Platinum VIP plan, you can unlock the ultimate listening experience in up to 2 cars and stream anywhere with 2 app logins. Enjoy our greatest content, opportunities for live VIP experiences, and prioritized customer care. Plus, get access to over 5,000 audio and video concert recordings through nugs.net. Call 844-711-8800 and become a VIP. Offer details apply. Not available in Canada.
Did you know you can get home and away feeds for every MLB game on your phone? Every game, all season. It's all on the SXM app. Baseball, the way it's meant to be heard.
It is Bedlam at the bank as Bryce Harper has put the Phillies on top.
With your hometown announcers just a tap away. Search for your team, then tap the star on the corner of the screen and save it as your favorite. It's always a home game when you listen to sports on the SXM app. Free for most subscribers.
Rondo Deportes, Bonjour, Vidi Vidi Vici. Let's get ready to rumble. Welcome to the show. My name is Charlton of Big C Sports. This is Big C Sports coming to you worldwide on the Big C Sports Network, on the #1 network in the United States of America. Big C Sports has been voted the #1 sports show in the universe with 28 podcast applications. That's more than anybody else. And you can Google that. What a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day in the neighborhood. You want to be mine? Want to be mine? Want to be my neighbor? Shut up! Enough of that neighbor stuff. I've been trying to get the neighborhood to come together. The only problem is I try to do it at 2 o'clock in the morning. And some people don't take it very fun. You can follow the Big C Sports Podcast. Our newest member is Amazon. You can also follow us on Google, Alexa, Spotify, Speaker Podcast, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio Podcast, Deezer Podcast, Castbox Podcast, Podcast Addict, Podchaser. You can also find us on GeoSavan Podcast out of London, England, as well as India and Africa. Podtail, YouTube, Hubhopper, Stitcher Podcast, Radio Line, Peapod Podcast, Luminary Podcast, Listen Notes, Podcast Wise, Podbay, Podcast Policy. I'm telling you, verbal podcast is something else. You think about Good Pods podcast. But there's another one that I like, and sometimes I don't like it. And sometimes I like it, and sometimes I don't. Like a kid, sometimes they want their vegetables, and then sometimes they don't. The same vegetables. It's called AllFeast.ai. The robots are trying to take over, and we got to find a way to turn them off. And I found out I have a secret. Would you like to hear it? Of course, people say yes. There's a way you can turn off electronic devices, and I heard it from a great musician back in the day by the name of Teddy Pendergrass. He had a song called "Turn Off the Lights, and Light a Candle." You see, there's something I want to do to you, baby. And he was saying, "Turn off the lights." And you know it works with computers too. It works with dogs. I was out walking the other day, and there was a lady. The dog was wild. I mean, I looked across the road, and I saw this dog was aberrant. It was looking at me, and it seemed like it was not very well behaved. You know, like some people are not very well behaved when they're staring at you. And so the lady hit the crosswalk with her 2 kids, and she walks across the walkway, and the dog was like trying to get off the leash. And so me, with my brilliance, I decided I would stay away from where they were walking. And just as my intuition, it told me, leave that dog alone. Some people want to pet dogs. Another good boy came jogging up, and he didn't notice what I had seen about 3 minutes earlier. And the lady let the dog off the leash, and the dog charged after the man, and the man stopped, and the dog got up on his back, was licking him and licking him and licking him. And the lady says, "Oh, he's friendly. He doesn't bite." And the man turned bright red and said, "Could you please get your dog off my back?" And the lady acted like she was upset that the man did not want the dog licking on him. Anybody don't want a dog licking on you, get that some praise. You dog owners, not everybody wants to be licked by your dog. Let him lick you. But he was licking that stranger like it was a lollipop. And you know, if I hadn't listened to my intuition, it could have been me. And that's why intuition is good. Next time you see a dog that doesn't want to be on the leash, and they want to let the dog go, and he runs towards you to lick on you. He's just licking and licking and licking. And the lady says, "Oh, he's really friendly. He doesn't bite." And the man said, "Could you please get your dog off me?" Not everybody wants to be licked by your dog, lady. They have leash laws for a reason. Give leash laws some praise. And so what I would have done had I would have been that man, I would have used my Teddy Pendergrass and said, "Turn him off!" And the dogs understand what that means. People, when you got your dog out there, nobody wants to be licking on your dog. That dog licks his backside. He licks things off the ground. He smells his own poop. Nobody wants that dog licking on him. Just because he licks on you doesn't mean I want him licking on me. And I like dogs, but if they don't belong to me, I don't want them licking on me. Give not licking on me some praise. People got to understand there's a leash law for a reason. He doesn't bite, he's friendly. Licking me on his backside. I don't like that, but that's my story and I'm sticking with it. Don't let Peter get mad at me. Put your dog on a leash. That's why they make leashes, if that makes sense to you. On a beautiful August 16th, 2023, you can follow Big C Sports Podcast. I'm telling you, 28 applications. But my show is a little bit different because I always produce the show. Number 2, I direct all the topics. Number 3, I broadcast all the shows. Number 4, I do all the sound effects based on the platform provided by the agency. And yeah, we don't need dogs licking on us if they don't belong to us. Who lets a dog? I see people letting the dog lick them all in the mouth. Just licking them, licking them, licking them. All in the mouth. I don't know where that dog has been. But I've seen those dogs lick their own behind and then they're licking their owner in the mouth. Oh, he's friendly. He doesn't bite. Keep your dog on the leash, ma'am. Please, if that makes sense to you. I'm telling you, I broadcast all the shows and I do all the sound effects based on the platform provided by the agency. And no dogs can lick on the Big C Sports Podcast. And then the commercials are done. My show is unlike any sports show in the universe. I do all of my commercials before the show. Most an hour shows, they will do maybe 4 segments of 3 commercials or sometimes 5 commercials. I do all of my commercials before the show, and then I just keep going and going and going. Like that dog that was licking on that man and said, could you please get your dog off me? Oh, he's friendly, he doesn't bite. As he's licking the man's backside. What are they doing with that dog at home? Not everybody wants to be licked, if that makes sense to you. Keep that dog on a leash. And then I'm telling you, the stats are provided. I do the storytelling. I do the play-by-play. I'm telling you, we have runners on first and third. The counts for the pitch. Curveball, swung on, hit deep, right field, back to the wall, home run. Say hello to my little Reds. I love saying the girls love the long ball and men love to hit deep, if that makes sense to you. And then the show is uploaded to 28 multiple podcast platforms out of New York City. I'm in Dimdale Hills, California. Thank goodness for technology. And then it goes out to 10 TV platforms: Xfinity, Comcast TV, Apple TV, Roku TV, and Amazon Fire TV. Number 10, I never missed a show since creating Big C Sports back with the crew. That's back at Salem Media. Really do appreciate that. And I also want to do something that's near and dear to my heart. I know oftentimes people tell a veteran, thank you for your service. And thank you for your service is great. But there's also a veteran crisis hotline number, and it's there with people who are trained to help veterans who are going through all kind of issues. It's called the Veterans Crisis Hotline, 800-273-8255. That's 800-273-8255. Or you can text 838-255. That's 838-255. If you're online, simply go to veteranscrisisline.net. That's veteranscrisisline.net, and you can get them some help and give them praise, because we all need somebody to lean on. I know I need somebody to lean on. It's always good. What did Teddy Pendergrass say? He said, it's so good leaning on somebody when somebody leaning back. I'm telling you, I had a great therapy session, massage session. I have been lifting weights and trying to swing golf clubs, and I pulled a muscle in my backside, not the backside where the dog was licking that guy that was running, but I pulled like a hip muscle. Some people say the sciatic nerve. I was having a hard time sleeping. I've been sleeping on a tennis ball, and then I have these concoctions, like massage apparatus. You can put it on your body and turn it on. It runs for 15 minutes, and nothing worked. It's like I just could barely lift my arm at times, and it hurt to even sit down in a chair. But sometimes there's something about that 9 Series DNA. I got a treatment today. I got a nice obsession where now there's something about knowing how to fix issues in people's bodies, and some people are holistic; they can heal you. And I just want to say, sometimes if you ever got some pain, you gotta go farther than the pain, if that makes sense to you. But I can breathe better. My sinus cleared up. I don't have that pain in my backside anymore. I can actually lift my arm without hurting. I'm telling you, there's something about knowing how the body works, where you can fix things. So I want to give fixing things some praise. Give it praise. Now I feel really good. I feel good. I knew that I would. I feel nice. Hey, like sugar and spice. I'm so nice. So nice. I got you. Hey. People say, "Will you shut up?" Trying to sing Two Live Crew. That's not Two Live Crew. That was James Brown. There, how's that, Mr. Fung? But I feel good. Really do appreciate when somebody knows how to fix things, if that makes sense to you. You know, as far as fixing things, I do want to also say thank you to Xfinity, Comcast TV, and Comcast Spotlight Effect TV for presenting Big C Sports to the universe. Just like in Genesis 1 verses 3, where God said, reparations now, reparations forever. I love that part when God said reparations now, reparations forever. And some people don't understand that. They said, Curry, obviously you don't know the good book. God does not say reparations now, reparations forever. In Genesis 1 verse 3, God actually said, he said, let there be light. But isn't reparations light? It's the same thing. I want to give that praise because everybody knows it's about how do you get people to look at what's important. I know football's coming up. Baseball's in the swing of things, about 40 plus games left of the regular season. And then we get the NBA schedule coming out this week as well. It's like Disneyland for people who love sports. But I also want to pay homage to something that I do, and I'm the only sports show in the universe that will do this, and I know more people are going to do it. I'm not the only person doing it. In fact, Harvard University is doing it. They're looking at reparations. They're studying reparations for descendants of chattel slavery. University of Virginia, they're studying reparations for descendants of chattel slavery. There's so many things that are done in this country to fix a wrong, to repair a wrong. You know, I was doing some driving today in Dim Deer Hills, California, and they're building so many houses, and they take a road that's a 4-lane road, expressway, and because they have construction going on, they take that expressway and from 4 lanes down to 2 lanes, and what it does is creates a traffic backup. You know what they're trying to do? They're trying to prepare the road for more traffic. That means they're preparing things. It's just like reparations. You know, before they decided to repair the road and make the road wider so the traffic can flow smoothly, they had plans in writing before they started using the tractors to make the roads wider. They got to make them smaller before they make them wider to slow down traffic. It's the same thing with reparations. People say, well, how do those houses get built? It started with the planning. The city planned to build buildings and to build housing and infrastructure. I work with real estate people now developing land all over the United States of America. They start with the plans first. They start with the plans and the infrastructure, and then they start creating the building. After they get the loans and the permits, that's what they do. And so, Curry, what's that got to do with sports? Because the California reparations, and you're only going to hear this on Big C Sports. Everybody else wants to know who won the game. But who's going to win the game? It's time for descendants of chattel slavery to win the game. And that's what I'm going to champion. With more than just athletes. This was commissioned by California Governor Gavin Newsom. And more good people of all colors are paying attention. They did a survey. They found that the only people that don't understand reparations, they call them ignorant. Not my words, but it's a fact. There's a task force. It recommends major reparations. Repair. The same way a city repairs potholes and streets so you don't get your tires torn up. It's an 1,100-page report. It provides recommendations for lawmakers. Not recommendations for the clergy. Not recommendations for the newspapers. Not recommendations for your nosy neighbors, but recommendations for lawmakers on reparations. Why don't you hear that on more shows? Why did God only choose Big C Sports to talk about it? Because I'm like the only one that does, but more people will. I can't say I'm the only one, but I feel like it. I want to thank the Associated Press, Janie Har. She did an article. It was written on, you can Google it, March 29th, 2023. And she called me. She called Charlton Curry, the person some people call a loudmouth. Oh, you talk too loud. And she asked me not about sports. She asked me about reparations. She said, Charlton, what is your opinion on reparations? I said, reparations now, reparations forever. And she said, well, I haven't even asked you the question yet. I said, I don't care the answer is reparations. And why is that? Because I want to honor President Abraham Lincoln. I know a lot of people just want to watch us play sports. But there was a time when the majority of African Americans, not everybody was considered a slave. There were people who came here from different countries and they could go back to Canada or wherever they came from. But slavery existed in the United States of America as its biggest sin. And the 13th Amendment ended slavery, but the Emancipation Proclamation was promised to descendants of chattel slavery by President Abraham Lincoln, promises 40 acres and a mule. And so when Janie Har of the Associated Press, she called only one sports show in the universe, it happened to be Big C Sports. I can't make this up. I didn't call her, she called me. She said, I heard you speak. Oh my God, I had an epiphany. My grandmother told me the same thing when I was 8 years old. She said, there's something about your voice. I love hearing you speak. There was about 500 people at the first meeting in the capital city of California. Why did she call one? She didn't call the mothership. A lot of those guys been laid off. But she called me asking me my thoughts on reparations, not on sports, not on what a lot of people are hooking and are shucking and jiving about. Oh, who's going to win the game? Who's going to win the Super Bowl? What about the World Series? Who's going to win the NBA championship? She didn't ask me about that. She said, Charlton Curry, what are your thoughts? I heard you speak, and I want to follow up. What are your thoughts on reparations? That's the Associated Press, not your local newspaper. They cover around the globe. And I said, I want to honor what President Abraham Lincoln put in writing, the Emancipation Proclamation. And it's going to happen. But I want more bright people to talk about it. Harvard University, they're studying it. Stanford's studying it. Virginia's studying it. Many states around the country now studying it. But she also mentioned in that article, President Joe Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris, California Governor Gavin Newsom. Why does she call one beautiful, intelligent black man? There's so many more people she could have called that you see on TV every day and every night. But she said, you are not like the others. You are not like the others. All they talk about is touchdown, home run, three-point play. Oh, man, Willie, he's going all the way. And aren't people tired of that? I mean, reparations to me, what President Abraham Lincoln did, let's for some of my conservative talk show, he was a white man. Some people say, oh, there you go again with reparations. President Abraham Lincoln, he promised that to black Americans because black soldiers helped the Union defeat the Southern Confederates and the Ku Klux Klan. And he promised them 40 acres and a mule. When President Lincoln was assassinated, President Andrew Johnson came along and vetoed the bill. And now some of our society, they're so hoodwinked, and they can't wait to see what will the 49ers do next. What will the New York Giants do next? Jerry Jones said this is a great year for the Dallas Cowboys. How about those Cowboys? And these rich sports teams owners, they don't even pay homage to President Abraham Lincoln the way Big C Sports does. But you mark my words, they will this year. You can give that some praise. You heard it first on Big C Sports Podcast. It's important. I want to make sure that happens. It's more important than a game. And when we get some of our intelligent men to stop shucking and jiving and start doing what President Abraham Lincoln said, because reparations right now is being treated like Christmas. You come downstairs for Christmas, you're looking at the box of toys, you're hoping there's toys inside, or clothing, or whatever you're hoping to get for Christmas, and then you open that box, and the box is empty. You see the box. Not only is the box empty, you pretend it's supposed to stay empty. It's not supposed to stay empty. When you order something from Amazon, and thank you, Amazon, for carrying Big C Sports Podcast. What? Another platform? For you? Yeah. That's for some of my broadcast brethren that told me I talk too much about politics, and they've been laid off. Some call me asking if they can be on the show. But you order something from Amazon, how do you feel when it says delivered, and you get home, you open the package, it is empty? Do you say, oh, well, maybe I'm not supposed to get what I ordered. Maybe I'm not supposed to get what I paid for. That's not what you say. You call Amazon and you say, where's my reparations? Reparations now, reparations forever. And what does President Abraham Lincoln think when no presidents have the decency to do what he did? Because we have our receipt. We have the receipt. There's some universities that are studying reparations, and I'm gonna champion that because I'm a part of the National Black Wall Street Project, and we're championing reparations for descendants of child slavery. And just like Harvard's doing it, and Virginia's doing it, Stanford's doing it, the other universities, they're just a little bit quiet about it right now because so many people are hoodwinked and they're so perturbed about why is the Pac-12 going away? What happened to the Pac-12? Why they joined the Big 12 and the Big 10? And they say nothing about reparations. You know why the Pac-12 schools left for the Big 10 and for the Big 12? They left for reparations. What? Reparations? Yeah. They left for money. Oh, how do you tie that into reparations? Because slaves didn't get paid. They worked for free. They built this country for free. A lot of our universities were named after slave owners. Built up immense wealth in the white society. They know that's true. And that's why all it takes is a few good men and women to address it. And some world leaders are starting to address it. They've been like that dog that was licking that man out in the park. They just been licking and hoping that maybe some people won't talk about it. But it's out there. And I want to make sure that I'm more than just a guy who reads you scores. Because it would be embarrassing, like the talents in the Bible, where there were some wise men, they received some talents. One received 5 talents, the other received 2 talents, and the other received 1 talent. It's like getting something put in your hand and you say nothing about it to benefit other people. And what a shame that would be. I don't want to be like that. I want to make sure that I'm doing my part. So before I get into some sports shows, I want to make sure that I want to do what President Abraham Lincoln told us to do. I don't want to pretend that this is not real. It's so important that when people have a receipt, that you actually pay them what they work for. Do that. Order something from Amazon, have it show up, and nothing's in there. The first call you would make is to Amazon customer service and try to find out what happened to your package. And people know that's true. And I want to do the same thing for descendants of child slavery because I am one. It'd be a shame if you ordered a package and you didn't get to see it. And for intelligent people, Google, I have a quiz. And everybody can take the quiz. Take out your cell phone right now. And you can Google it. If what I tell you cannot be verified, then don't listen to me. Google's Survivors Today Act of 2017 is more important than if your team's going to win the game. The Justice for Uncompensated Survivors Today Act of 2017. Not 1917, not 1817. 2017 is United States legislation that requires the State Department to report to Congress on steps that 47 countries in Europe have taken to compensate Holocaust survivors and their heirs for assets seized by Nazi Germany and post-war communist government. It was Black Americans who helped end Hitler's reign in Nazi Germany. And I want to give that praise. But they still didn't get what they were promised. And that's not right. And I know people are looking into it. And I appreciate the smart politicians, the ones with a good heart, that are looking into reparations to make sure that happens for descendants of child slavery. But I'm telling you, I'm doing this because it's my calling. I want to, again, congratulate and thank Janie Harr of the Associated Press. But more important than that, I want to also pay homage to the California Reparations Task Force. Because they're the ones that were mandated by California Governor Gavin Newsom that Big C Sports will also be speaking with later this year on recommendations. You're only going to hear it here. I want to congratulate the chair, Camilla Moore, attorney, brilliant. I want to also congratulate Dr. Amy C. Brown, vice chair, brilliant. I want to congratulate the best senator in the United States, California Senator Stephen Bradford, brilliant. He's responsible for name, image, and likeness. I will talk about that later in the show. Councilmember Monica Montgomery Steppe, brilliant. Assemblymember Reginald Jones Sawyer, brilliant. Dr. Michelle Grills, brilliant. Attorney Lisa Holder, brilliant. Dr. Javon Scott Lewis, professor at Cal Berkeley, brilliant. And Donald K. Tamaki, brilliant. I want to give them all some praise. You're only going to hear that on Big C Sports. Why aren't other sports shows, even the ones in California? In California, we have Fox Sports in Southern California. We have the NFL Network in Southern California. We have sports networks all over this country. And they go to the sports arenas to watch mostly black men play football and especially basketball. Yet they say nothing about the most seminal moment in the history of the United States. And that's reparations. All those guys working for a check, what would they do when it's time to get paid and they go to the will call or their employer and they say, hey boss, I didn't get paid. And the employer says, so what? Just watch the game. They would say, wait a minute, I didn't get my check. They say, so what? You got to work for me. Many people would walk away. You don't pay me, I'm not going to work. They're striking down in LA for better wages. They're not just going up and showing up to work. They're striking for better wages. So if Hollywood can be shut down because people want more money, how do we have the audacity not to honor President Abraham Lincoln when he said reparations now, reparations forever, and give that some praise? Man, Big C, all you do is talk about reparations. Well, President Abraham Lincoln, he would be ashamed if he knew that we didn't have the guts to talk about it now. So that's what I love doing, and that's what I love about Big C Sports. And speaking of that, I have a phone call coming up today after the show. I'm looking forward to it. It's for an agency that represents athletes. I'm not going to give out the name just yet. Maybe I'll talk about it tomorrow, depending on how the conversation goes. But because Big C Sports has been invited to so many opportunities, I'm telling you, this is something, it's going to come true. I keep saying I'm going to build Big C Sports into $1 billion corporation. You watch, it's going to happen. I already know it. And just to prove that, it's like an epiphany. One of the top sports agents in the universe. I'm going to be having a conversation with him today after my show. How does God line that up? How does God line that up? I just give it praise. I want to touch on something because this is important, and it's analogous to reparations. Because everybody that says, "Oh, I'm so tired of hearing about reparations," tell your boss that you don't want your paycheck. You just want to work for the love of the game. The reason the Pac-12 went away is because they wanted more money for the institutions, not for the kids. They wanted more money for the institutions. And some of those same universities are named after people who owned slaves. Like Stanford University, Leland Stanford. And Stanford's at least having the decency to address, you know what, we did steal from black people. We built up tremendous wealth in this country as white citizens. Not only did the government give us the Homestead Act of 1862, it gave away land, over 276 million acres of land, to white people and white Europeans. You know what they told black people? Touchdown, home runs, replay play. Old man Willie, he's going all the way. Just shut up and dribble. And a lot of our brethren, they just shut up and dribble. What a shame. Lincoln has to be embarrassed. He's, I gave this to you guys, and you don't even talk about it? I gave this to you guys for your families, and you don't even talk about it. Athletes are making more money than ever, with media rights deals continuing to ratchet up league revenues and driving salaries to levels that would have been unthinkable a few short years ago. Oh, you talk too much about money, Big C. But the paydays don't stop there. The call I have set up after my show's over today, sports agents behind the scenes also stand to gain as they take commissions on the blockbuster contracts that they negotiate primarily with black athletes. The list of the most powerful sports agents includes agents that are focused on North American team sports. It's like Reparations, ranked by an estimate of the maximum commissions they can generate from the plain contracts that they manage, in recognition of the particularly high degree of collaboration among agents, including several who have previously appeared in Forbes magazines because they made so much money on black labor. The NFL is 75% black. The NBA is 80% black. And most of our black brethren won't even talk about reparations. Abraham Lincoln said, why are they even a champion for it? They don't even ask for it. They sit up and let you tell them, hey, great job, man. I love watching you play. I love watching you run up and down the field. Man, look at how high you can jump. I love seeing the way you catch that ball. And our great-great-grandparents were beaten, murdered, lynched, raped, children sold off like chattel property. And President Abraham Lincoln knew that was the country's biggest sin. He wasn't a perfect man. He's the best president this country's ever had. President Lincoln is the only president to end slavery in the United States of America. Oh, Curry, how do you know? Other people said, we apologize. Apologies don't put money in the bank. That's why I'm saying reparations now, reparations forever. It's important. You would have to be the dumbest person in the universe if you don't get what I'm about to tell you right now. Some of these agents make so much money, they appear in Forbes magazine. And they don't even talk about reparations. And many of them are not even black. But they're making money off of black folks, hand over fist. More and more black Americans are getting into the sports agency representation. And when I tell you some stories, you're going to understand why. It's not about how much money your favorite athlete makes. Somebody gets a percentage of them for doing nothing but representing them. And I'm going to talk about some of them coming up. And you can Google their name. If what I say on my show, if you can't Google it, then just don't listen to me. I'm going to mention some names. And I'm going to start with the top black sports agent in the United States. His name is David Mugoleta. And his income for 2022, his sports agent commissions $38 million. $38 million. Well, if he's doing it, why can't everybody else do it? It's not as easy as it may seem. But $38 million. He's a young man. A former intern, David Mugoleta, has risen through the ranks at Athletes First to become the agency's president of team sports, cementing himself as one of football's top agents in the process. Among the major contracts he's negotiated are Deshaun Watson's 5-year, $230 million deal with the Cleveland Browns, Jalen Ramsey's 5-year, $100 million deal with the Los Angeles Rams. He did that. He has 86 clients. He has contracts totaling over $1.3 billion. It's important. Not everybody has his skill level. There's another person out there that I want to bring up also. His name is Bill Duffy. His commissions for 2022, $41 million. He doesn't score a touchdown. He doesn't hit a three-point basket. He doesn't hit a home run. But Bill Duffy is the founder and principal of BDA Sports Management, a basketball agency in which endeavor he took a major stake in December 2020, and now he serves as a strategic advisor to WME Sports. And Duffy represents a number of young NBA stars, including DeAndre Ayton, Luka Doncic, Chet Holmgren, Scotty Barnes, as well as WNBA All-Star Sabrina Ionescu. He has 31 clients and contracts totaling $1 billion. Right, man? Not everybody makes it at that level. And that's why Big C Sports is also making that part of what I'm doing as I expand my horizon, depending on how my conversation today goes. There's another person I want to bring up. His name is Todd France. 2022 Sports Agents Commissions, $42 million. A lot of money. Todd France left CAA in 2020 to join forces with Athletes First, bringing with him one of the most valuable client portfolios in football. Think about this, young people. Among his star clients are Rams defensive tackle Aaron Donald, Tennessee Titans running back Derrick Henry, and Dallas Cowboys quarterback touchdown Dak Prescott. Isn't that something? These are the agents. They don't get concussed. They don't score they don't pull hamstrings. Maybe they pull a hamstring when they're trying to run through the bank. He has 45 clients. Contracts total over $1.4 billion. Think about that. The sports agency is big business. There's another name I want to bring up. Involved with football. Joel Segal. His 2022 Sports Agents Commissions, $42 million. He didn't score a touchdown. He didn't hit a home run. He didn't make a three-point play. But Gasol, he was head of the Sports 5's football division before jumping in January of 2022 to WME Sports, where he is a partner and managing director for team sports. He graduated magna cum laude from George Washington University and earned his law degree from Hofstra, and represents NFL stars including Khalil Mack, Christian McCaffrey, and Jalen Waddle. He's on the Forbes list. He has 79 clients, contracts totaling over $1.4 billion. Most of his athletes and his clients happen to be African American. And these men should champion reparations for descendants of chattel slavery. Casey Close, Excel Sports Management, 2022 Sports Agents Commissions, $48 million. Close established himself on the baseball diamond for the Michigan Wolverines and in the minor leagues before venturing into athlete representation with IMG, later moving to CAA and finally Excel Sports Management. His clients at Excel include Paul Goldschmidt, Kyle Schwarber, George Springer, and the great Clayton Kershaw. He has 33 clients. His contracts total $960 million. A lot of money. He doesn't score touchdowns. He doesn't hit home runs. He doesn't score three-point plays. I hope that they start championing reparations for descendants of child slavery, because a lot of them make their money on black athletes. Not everybody's going to make several $1 million in a sports contract, and when they do, the athlete may have a 5-year window playing football, basketball, or baseball. These sports agents, they can do that until they're 75 to 80 years old. That's why Big C Sports is getting into the sports management agency. Dan Lozano, MVP Sports Group, 2022 commission as a sports agent, $52 million. It's a powerful business. And so for young men of color, oftentimes we want to go out and bench press 400 pounds, want to try to run a 4.640, turn that into a 4.440, try to jump higher, get bigger, stronger, faster. And the men who are making more money than the athletes are the agents that represent them. They don't pull hamstrings, they don't get concussed, they don't get CTE, and they don't get fired after 5 years. One of the most mysterious and guarded agents in baseball, Dan Lozano, has made a name for himself negotiating some of the biggest contracts in all of professional sports. Among them is Manny Machado's 10-year, $300 million deal with the San Diego Padres. Joey Votto's 10-year, $225 million deal with the Reds, and a 10-year, $240 million deal with the great Albert Pujols signed with the Angels in 2011. Also on the Forbes list, had 42 clients with contracts totaling $1 billion. For young people, especially young black men and women, you don't always have to go out and work 10 hours a day on your jump shot. The big money is made as a sports agent. You don't get fired. You just get more and more clients. There's a name that many people would become familiar with, a household name. He's African American. His name is Rich Paul. Clutch Sports Group. 2022 sports agent commissions, $55 million. It's like reparations. You know how he makes most of his money? Representing black athletes. Rich Paul represents some of the NBA's biggest stars, including LeBron James, the NBA scoring leader. A former CAA agent, he founded Clutch Sports Group in 2012, becoming head of sports at United Talent Agency after it made a significant investment in his agency in 2019. He has a bright future. He now serves on United Talent Agency's board, a bright man. He only has 37 clients. His contracts total over $1.4 billion. And I hope they start championing reparations for descendants of chattel slavery, most of their athletes. There's a guy by the name, another agent by the name of Joel Wolf. 2022 sports agent commissions, $58 million. He doesn't score touchdowns. He doesn't hit home runs. He doesn't make three-point plays. Before establishing himself as one of the world's most powerful sports agents, Joel Wolf was drafted by the Oakland A's, soon to become the Las Vegas A's, and spent some time in the minor leagues, now an executive vice president and managing executive of baseball at Wasserman. He negotiated one of the largest contracts in Major League Baseball history. Giancarlo Stanton, 13-year, $325 million with the Miami Marlins in 2014. He only has 25 clients. His contracts total over $1.2 billion. Jeff Schwartz, another man on this Forbes magazine. Again, he doesn't run the 40 and 4.3. He doesn't bench press 400 pounds. Excel Sports Management, 2022 sports agent commissions, $86 million. You see why Big C Sports is getting into that industry? Jeff Schwartz, founder and president of Excel Sports Management, is the world's foremost basketball agent, having negotiated more than $2.1 billion in active contracts as of Forbes 2022 agent rankings. His star clients include Cade Cunningham, Brandon Ingram, and Nikola Jokic. He only has 35 clients. His contracts total $2.2 billion. Kevin Love and Chris Middleton, also his clients, makes most of his money on black athletes. And I hope that they start championing reparations. At least honor what President Abraham Lincoln did. We did the Black Lives Matter. People put that on the end of basketball courts and football stadiums and on helmets and on jerseys. And we need to do what President Abraham Lincoln did, because money changes a lot of people's lives. And as of last year reported by Forbes magazine, the top sports agent for the Boards Corporation 2022 Commission for Sports Agents, $191 million. He doesn't score touchdowns. He doesn't hit home runs. He doesn't make three-point plays. But baseball's mega agent Scott Boras has negotiated some of the biggest professional sports contracts in the world, including Bryce Harper's $330 million deal with the Philadelphia Phillies, Corey Seager's $325 million deal with the Texas Rangers, and Garrett Cole's $324 million deal with the New York Yankees. A lawyer by training, he lends his name to the renowned Boards Corporation, the world's top baseball agency. He has 106 clients, and his contracts total over $3.8 billion. Some of his clients: Garrett Cole, Carlos Correa, Anthony Rendon, Stephen Strasburg, Bryce Harper, and Max Scherzer. And I want to give these guys praise because they found the gold mine. They found the gold mine in the world of sports. And sports is a billion-dollar industry. And boys and girls are the foundation to this billion-dollar industry. And it's so, I'm so appreciative that I get to work in this business. I love doing Big C Sports Podcasts. I love doing what I call a clarion call. Because most of these athletes, for the African Americans or the black ones, whether they come from Cuba or the United States, many of them come out of that chattel slavery, where their grandparents and great-grandparents didn't get anything. It was a free labor. We know about the Jim Crow. We know about the redlining and how people just didn't get the opportunity. White drinking fountains, black drinking fountains. We're past that now, but not because people were quiet. We're past it now because of the law. And that's why I champion the California Reparations Task Force. I want to give them praise because they're lawmakers and they have a solution that helps the black diaspora. Not everybody's going to play football, basketball, or baseball. And it's so important. And that's why me as Big C Sports, I love talking about that. I love championing that. It's important because so many of our young people, they think that they got to go out and lift 300, 400 pounds. Or go from running a 4.5 40 to 4.3 40. Or instead of a 40-inch vertical, they try to get a 45-inch vertical. You pull a hamstring, and next thing you know, you get cut. These sports agents, all they're doing is learning the business. And they get people to sign a contract with them. And they become wealthy. And they can do that for 50 years. You can't play sports for 50 years. The oldest professional athlete that I've ever heard of is Satchel Paige, black man. He played baseball till he was 59 years old. Not till he was 60. You can be an agent until you're 80. As long as you're lucid. I want to give them praise because they found the gold mine, but I also ask them to help champion reparations for this country. Just help honor President Abraham Lincoln. I know a lot of people, they've been brainwashed and they're not even talking about money. I just told you guys that make several $1 million a year. They don't even play sports. They just get people to sign the name on the contract. And that's the conversation I'll be having this evening. And I look forward to that. I want to give that praise one more time. I want to touch on, before I close out today's show, college football starting. I mean, we're getting ready for the finish line. And before I even do that, I want to just mention Al Fisher, the first black sports reporter from Rhode Island. I was talking to him today, and he's trying to do a fundraising campaign for Hawaii and the people who've lost everything. One of the most beautiful parts of the planet destroyed by fire. I was watching a movie today called Who Cloned Tyrone? With the great Jamie Foxx. And they will rebuild Hawaii again. And it's going to take infrastructure. The government, FEMA's going to step in. But there are a lot of people they've lost everything. You know, kind of like the slaves. People say we got to get FEMA in to help rebuild Hawaii. Because people lost everything. Now how the slaves feel? They couldn't have anything to lose. They couldn't own anything to lose. They couldn't even own themselves. Not because of God, but because of the cruelty of our government at that time. That's why when people say we want to raise money to send to the people of Hawaii, because they lost everything. Yet some of those same people, they're anti-reparations for descendants of chattel slavery, who never even had a chance to own a home, who never even had a chance to own a business, who never even had a chance to even own their own children. And now FEMA's involved, and God bless them. The government's involved to help people rebuild back what was broken or burned down. And people raising money all over the country. We got to send money to Hawaii. We got to send money to people who lost everything because of the fire. At the same time, when I'm championing reparations now, reparations forever, sometimes people act like, what are reparations? Think about that when you're anti-reparations. Hawaii burning down, and we got FEMA, which is Federal Emergency Management Agency. They're there to help rebuild. As we speak, what did President Abraham Lincoln offer the descendants of chattel slavery? To rebuild. And everybody's fought it except for President Abraham Lincoln. That's why I say reparations now, reparations forever. If you have any kind of feeling in your heart about helping the victims of Hawaii, I give you praise. Do you have any feeling about helping the descendants of chattel slavery who never had a chance to even own anything? You could be murdered for learning how to read. Imagine that as kids start going back to school. And how do you send money to Hawaii and turn your back on reparations? You can do both. Because the black Americans couldn't own anything. And like the Black Wall Street, it was also burned down. FEMA didn't go in and rebuild the Black Wall Street when it was burned down by some good old boys. They told the people, we can't find your money. We have no records of it. But the whole world's coming together to help the victims of Hawaii. But the Black Wall Street that happened in the United States of America less than 100 years ago, people said, oh well. It's not oh well. I hope you get it. It's never too late to do the right thing. You cannot say the right thing to the wrong person. You cannot say the wrong thing to the right person. And that's why I'm asking the federal government for reparations for descendants of chattel slavery, so we can also rebuild what was taken and burned down. If that makes sense to you, you can get that some praise. I'll get into the coaches poll perhaps next week for the FCS, but I'm going to get into number 1 ranked South Dakota State, number 2 North Dakota State, number 3 Montana State, number 4 William and Mary, number 5 Holy Cross, number 6 Furman, number 7 University Incarnate Word, number 8 Sacramento State, number 9 Sanford, number 10 Weber State. And all of those universities should also champion reparations now, reparations forever. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. I hope that you understand that money makes the world go round. Let's make sure that we help Hawaii, but we also got to help descendants of chattel slavery and pass reparations the way California has put it in the hands of the lawmakers. Well, that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. Well, as I always tell you on every Big C Sports Show, if you're going to drink, don't drive. If you're going to drive, don't drink. Because mothers against drunk drivers are mad, and fathers against drunk drivers are mad. It's one of the easiest things not to do. You can call Uber, you can call Lyft, you can walk it off, you can sleep it off. One of the lives you save, it might be your own. Don't let anyone that you love drink and drive. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. Well, as I always say on every Big C Sports Show, back in the day, there's a man known by the name of Drew Boudini Brown. He was known as Muhammad Ali's right-hand man. He would always tell Ali, you float like a butterfly, you sting like a bee, rumble, young man, rumble. He said, with all you got to use, how can you lose? Ali said, I'm so pretty, I can't possibly be beat because all the big C burgers I eat make me light on my feet. That's why I float like a butterfly and I sting like a bee and I'm always rumbling. My beautiful mother always says there's never ever an excuse for racism or domestic violence. No man, woman, or child should ever have to go through that garbage on their own. If you know any man, woman, or child going through that garbage, pick up the phone and call 911. Because things change when the police show up. No man, woman, or child should ever have to go through that garbage. Well, that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. As I always tell you, on every Big C Sports Show, I thank you, I appreciate you, and I hope that you have a super fantastic day. Let's honor what President Abraham Lincoln told all of us. He said, reparations now, reparations forever. Do it like your team's going to win the game. What did President Abraham Lincoln tell us? Listen up, Congress. He said, reparations now, reparations forever. Say it one more time, like you just signed the biggest sports contract in the history of the universe. What did President Abraham Lincoln say to the United States government? He said, reparations now, reparations forever. I thank you, I appreciate you, and I hope that you have a super fantastic day.